How self-aware are you? It's a new year. Let's talk about emotions. Welcome back to the Help for Leaders podcast. I'm Stacey Harris. Super excited you're joining me today. Before we jump into today's episode, click here to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, click that bell so you're notified each week when we post new content. We have just finished a couple of episodes with a licensed professional counselor. We had Dawn Delaney, the executive director of the Center for Relational Care, joining us. If you haven't listened to those two episodes, I really encourage you to go back and listen. We were talking all about emotional health, mental health, just relational connect, and all about emotionally attuning. And so today I really want to talk about self-awareness. You've heard me on previous podcasts about emotional intelligence. I'm super passionate about EQ and really learning emotional intelligence and how it can affect our relationships, how it can affect our performance at work, even our collaboration and our decision making are based all on EQ. Before we have a rational thought, we have an emotion. Did you know that? Emotions come before thought. We're triggered in some kind of way. We have some type of emotional reaction, response happens inside of us. Dawn talked about that some on the podcast, but I want to just really encourage you. Self-awareness is the foundation. Understanding. She talked a lot about putting your hand kind of physically on your heart, taking some deep breaths. What are you feeling? Really attuning to yourself, asking yourself, like, why am I feeling this? What's actually going on inside? That's what self-awareness is. And we actually have a free assessment. You can go online. The link is in our bio. We'll put it in the comments of the video, but you can read and take an assessment, read about your self-awareness levels and how to increase it. Because the difference between EQ and IQ is pretty set in our lives early on. Where EQ, we can learn, we can grow, we can learn how to become more emotionally intelligent. And I love that. I don't care what stage in life you are, how old you are, we can all learn and grow. And even if you score really high, there's always opportunity for growth. And that's what I love about emotional intelligence, is there's always opportunity for growth. I'm a lifelong learner. I hope you are as well. I'm intentionally going after things and really wanting to learn more about myself, about the people I'm in relationship with my clients. I love helping people discover more about the ways they communicate, the ways we're wired, the ways we connect with other people, because connection is so important. Dawn referenced a Harvard Business Review. I love that study. I want to go read it. It was done over the lifetime of several individuals in the study over 80 years, and how relational connection really was an indicator of health, of long-term health, physical, mental, emotional. But it was all about connection with relationships. And at work, we spend a lot of time with our coworkers. They become family. Sometimes that's a really healthy connection. Sometimes it's not. So how can you be the person on your team to really help drive that connection rather than being annoyed and just irritated and driving disconnection? Because I've seen that. I've worked with many organizations. I mean, especially in the last year and a half, so much change. I was in Chicago a few weeks ago working with a major manufacturing organization that had laid off 40% of their workforce in July. 40%. That's a lot of people. That was people they knew and loved and cared for and worked with for years, many of them. The team that I was working with, I mean, there was survivor's guilt even with some of the people that were still there. Like, how am I here? And they're not. And so many emotions, so many powerful things. And we were really helping that team through this transition process, because change brings up big emotions, lots of things to talk about. And if you're not aware of what you're feeling internally, it's really challenging for you to connect with other people and be able to show empathy and feel what they're feeling. So I encourage you, if you haven't taken my free EQ assessment, go take it. You'll learn some things about yourself. I also have a free DISC assessment where you can learn about your own communication style. You can follow me on Instagram. I've got lots of tips that we post every day of insights. I've got some fun things as well. But my desire this new year, because it's been a year since we launched the Help for Leaders podcast. I'm kind of shocked that a whole year has gone by. And my desire is to help you. That's hence the title, Help for Leaders. Every single one of us is a leader. We're all influencing someone in our lives. And that's what leadership is all about. It's about influence. It's about helping others, really doing this together. And so my desire this year is to continue that process, really help you grow as an individual, as a leader, in your communication, in your ability to show empathy, all about emotional intelligence, and even to know why you're doing what you're doing. We have a whole series on drivers as well, and we're going to talk a lot about this year as well. So I'm excited about 2022. I hope you are as well. It's not just about getting in shape physically. I know we see that all around us, but it's also about really being aware of our emotions, being aware of our mental health and how strong we are and how we can help others as well. So join me next week. We're going to talk more about Help for Leaders. If you enjoyed this episode and would like more information on emotional intelligence, behavioral styles, or communication, I'd love for you to click here to watch more episodes. And we'd also love for you to click here to subscribe so you're notified each week when we post more content.